Hi, it's Lesley Langdon with Simply Renee, the makers of the Clip It Up, and I wanted to show you today these cool Clip It Up bags that I'm using for my jewelry. These are some turquoise beads that I had just bought, and I put them in here with this nifty opener, and I like to know what they're called, so I put the little tag in there as well. So it's really easy to spot jewelry pieces this way. I wish I had like hundreds of these bags because I could certainly fill them with all the beads I have. And then I put my findings in here. I've got some head pins and I've got some ear loops. And in here I've got some chandeliers. So I want to show you today how easy it is to make jewelry. And what we're going to be doing is making the other match to this. Okay? And you'll find out how very easy it is, and I'm sure you'll want to try making your own jewelry. So all you need is a pair of wire cutters, and these are like pliers so that you can actually grip the wire and pull it tighter in certain spots. And you'll need a chandelier, or two, because you're going to be making a set. So you just pull it out of your bag, and I should mention that these bags come with a little slot for your clip, which makes it easier. It's right here. See, there's a hole there, so your clip can just go in there nicely. So it's meant for the Clip It Up, and then you just hang it. Very easy. All right, and this is high quality too. It's a very thick plastic, not like a Ziploc bag. Okay, so pull out your chandelier, and we can set that aside. And then we'll grab head pins, and those will be inserted through our beads, and we'll need 5 of those. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are very cheap to buy. You'll find that making your own jewelry is inexpensive, unless you get into the silver wire and silver pieces, and then it becomes more expensive. And pull out your earring while you have the bag open. Set that aside. And then we'll want 5 beads. Try and pull out beads that, they match in their grain or in their pattern. So those look reasonably similar. And set that aside. And then we can get to, first things first, we will be looping our beads. So insert your head pin into the bead. Okay. Then you'll want to put it through. I'm going to try and show it closely. Through the hole. Then you're going to leave a little bit of space because we're going to loop a wire around there. So bend it with your finger. This is a rather thin wire, so you can do most of it just using your fingers. Okay, so once you've bent it over, just want you to start looping it around the space that's left. Now if you want to pull it tighter, just grab hold of it, and that will tighten the wire around the loop. Okay, so you can keep doing that. You can use your hands if you like. Whatever's easier, just have those tools handy. So we're just looping the wire around the top. And I don't fiddle with the whole thing. I just go ahead and snip the remainder. It's just a lot easier. All right, so that looks pretty good. And if you want, take your pliers here and just tighten this a little bit. Just squeeze it so that there's no sharp edges sticking out. Okay? So there you already have one dangle. So what I've gone and done with the first one, I put 2 dangles here, the middle one just 1, and then 2 on the other one. So there's a total of 5 beads here. Okay, so you can just repeat that looping of the head pin wire, and do that 5 times, and then there you have it. So I'll do that in the meantime, and I'll come back to show you the rest. All right, I'm back now, and I've looped all of the beads onto the chandelier. Okay, and now it's time to do the wire part. I'll just show you the example. So we're going to be putting the wire around the top of the chandelier to cover it and add a little bit of interest and spunk. So what you're going to do, this is 26 gauge wire. So the higher the count, the thinner it is. So you're going to want to measure about 3 feet. That's how much I did for the first one. So you want to be consistent. And then you just cut it with your wires, set that aside. Kind of pull this wire straight because it's going to have a natural curliness to it. That's okay. So what you're going to do is start at the top here of your chandelier, and you're just going to wrap it around. It's so easy. So just want this initial bend to kind of be out of the way. So I'll start like that. And then I'll just start wrapping. Okay, so pull it tight as you can. And you're going to be trying to get the wires to go, like, you know, close to each other so that there's no gaps. So just keep winding it up. It goes really fast. And I love this technique. I think it's looks really sharp. And if you've doubled up, you know, if you've made a mistake, just unwrap it and try again. Okay, do you see how easy that is? I'm just wrapping, 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 wrapping. Every so often, you'll want to pull it up to the next, or your other earring, just to make sure you haven't gone too far, because you want these to look even. So I have a bit of ways to go. So even though you've done your measuring and, you know, you think that you're using the exact same amount of wire, it's always important to make sure that they're identical. Well, as identical as you can make them, because, you know, these being handmade, they're going to be unique. And they're not going to be perfect, but they're going to be made by you. Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit more, so I can match the other. All right, how does that look? Okay, that looks pretty even. So what I'm going to do to finish this wire off, I'm just going to wrap it twice around one of these sides, and then I'm going to trim it. So it's hardly going to be noticeable. Okay, and then I'm going to take my pliers. I'm just going to make sure there's no sharp edge there. So I'm going to push it flush against the chandelier. Okay, there you have it. Okay, now I think that was pretty fast. The last thing you're going to do is attach your earring loop. Okay, and that can be attached directly to the top here. What I would suggest is whenever you're bending wire, you don't want there to be metal fatigue, which is, if you can imagine, you know, taking a credit card and bending it back and forth, eventually it will break, and the same thing goes for metal. So you actually want to take a loop, and anytime you open a loop, you do it sideways. You don't open it, you know, like bending it back and forth. So you open it up sideways there. Okay, so you can see how I've opened it. Then you look at your earring and you choose the best side. Okay, so I would say this is the best side, so you can imagine wearing it. So you just loop it on, and then you bend the loop back into shape with your pliers. And then it's done. So there you go. In a matter of minutes, you can create your own earrings wrapped in wire and with some nice turquoise beads. And all this stuff is pretty much available, you know, at your local Michael's or craft or beading store. And you know what? You'll save yourself a lot of money doing it yourself, but you just have to invest in the tools, like the pliers and the wire cutters. And of course, if you want to, you know, have a cool way to show off your jewelry and to have it in eyesight, then I would suggest the Clip It Up. I'm using my ribbon organizer to hang these, but you can use your Clip It Up as well for all your jewelry and findings. All right, hope you had a great time. Hope you try making some jewelry. Bye.